Okay, we're looking at question 10, and it asks, the economist statements, if true, most strongly support which one of the following? So we are looking for something, initially like, hey, what must be true here? If we can't find it, we need to find something that's most likely to be true. And I tell you what, this question is really just a trick, okay? That's the only way I can put it, and that's why it's part of my lessons. But let's try to make sense of it. I mean, because, man, oh my God, maybe I'm just a simpleton here, but this one, I don't know, what the hell are they talking about here, all right? So here we go. We're talking about the notion of the widespread belief that that losing your job is the effect of impersonal social forces. I guess that means, like, right now that we look at you, if you lose your job, like, you're a loser, dude. It's you, okay? But if somehow we could get it to where it wasn't you, it was like these impersonal social forces. I thought that they had to be personal, by the way. Just me, I don't know. But then we would really want more government control of the economy. Okay, in other words, like, if we really felt like the reason you got fired was these impersonal social forces, then we'd go to Uncle Sam and be like, dude, you need to protect us against the impersonal social forces. And then, of course, Uncle Sam would be like, all right, man, but that means I've got to kind of take control of everything. We'd be like, please do, sir, because these forces are just killing me, all right? And then it kind of says, it's almost like this thing is saying, like, I know I'm talking deep here, but let me kind of help you. It's kind of like the military protects us from invasion. We're like, oh, okay. So what's going through my mind is some sort of, like, I guess if, like, losing your job was like protecting from invasion, then the government would really just control everything. And then it just kind of, like, there's a little, like, rebellious attitude to this, and it says, by the way, if you do that, it's going to just totally fuck the whole world up. And I'm like, okay, all right, I got it. Okay, so I've got all that in my brain. I'm like, what on earth is all that? And I go through these answer choices. Increased knowledge of the causes of job loss could lead to an economic disaster. I'm like, increased knowledge? Are we increasing knowledge by doing this? I'm like, I don't think that that's strongly supported. Then I go to another one. An individual's belief in his or her own ability is the only reliable protection against impersonal social forces. I kind of think about that one. I'm like, I don't really think it's that. First off, it says only, and the belief in your own abilities, I almost feel like if you have too much of belief in your own abilities, then you'd never admit that you got fired. Therefore, it would have to be the impersonal social forces. Something's clicking through where I'm like, I don't think that's it, but I don't really know. So far, A and B, no clue, all right? Government forces should never interfere with economic forces. I'm like, I don't think it said that. I mean, never. Economic forces, there's a bunch of different economic forces. I mean, I don't know. I mean, doesn't sound like it to me, all right? D, societal demand for government control of the economy is growing, all right? So, I don't know. Does that mean that we're, like, taking it more as impersonal social forces? But it said this if-then statement. So again, D doesn't sound too good. And then so E, in general, people should feel no more responsible for economic disasters than for military invasions. I'm like, well, I don't know. Okay, so I'm like, what on earth? What is happening? Okay, and then I start to click through my little LSAT mind here, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me look at the logical force of the answers. I look at E, should feel, like this is the way you ought to feel. I look for D, it is growing, it is happening, all right? C, never, 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 all right? B, only reliable. And then we get to A, could. And I tell you guys over and over and over, you always have to acknowledge the possibility of could. It's almost like a must be true that something could happen. That is exactly why A is the correct answer to the question. I would venture to say that none of these answer choices make a damn bit of sense, and this doesn't make a damn bit of sense either. Now, some of you are real deep people. I'm not, okay? I'll be honest with you. This might make sense to you. That answer choice might make sense to you. I scored very well on this test by not even knowing what stuff like this said. The logical force if this answer choice makes it the most strongly supported.